This is a proud day for Hillsborough County and especially for our Code Enforcement Department because this truck will enable us to help put a stop to dangerous calling cards left by notorious gang members. We're also celebrating partnerships today because it's partnerships that made this anti-graffiti unit possible. Code enforcement has been successful in consolidating and partnering in order to share resources, become more efficient, and save the taxpayers money. Criminal gang activity is one of those dangers threatening our communities, and code enforcement is trying to step up their game to assist law enforcement in ridding our county of those violent gangs. They have received additional training in special areas including gang identification and reporting. Graffiti is a language those dangerous gangs use to communicate. Graffiti can market gangs' presence in areas, it endangers neighborhoods, and can attract other gangs to communities. This new anti-graffiti unit is our latest crime-fighting tool, fully equipped to rid our community of dangerous gang graffiti and help create a safer environment.
It's an honor for me to be invited here today for this special occasion and to speak to you about our anti-gang initiative. Our Project Safe Neighborhoods effort has been effectively combating firearms violence in the Middle District of Florida for the past decade. The Tampa Bay Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, or what we call the KG Task Force, has become the hallmark for all Florida's anti-gang efforts. We have been pace-setting in this area for a decade now. This PSN KG effort is a comprehensive, collaborative, holistic approach to dealing with guns, drugs, and violent crime. We know that law enforcement alone is not enough. We must work together, which we do here, on local, state, and federal law enforcement and the communities that they serve. Key components to what we do include there's a broad array of prevention and intervention programs, an aggressive approach to enforcement and prosecution, and it also includes re-entry initiatives, which weave a powerful strategy for all our agencies to work together to form the comprehensive anti-gang initiative. Last year, the Tampa Bay KG Task Force was presented with a National Achievement Award from the United States Department of Justice for outstanding partnership work to stop violent gang activity. We were recognized by the Department of Justice for the whole nation, not just the state of Florida. 26 agencies locally make up the KG partnership, and those agencies include the Hillsborough County Code Enforcement, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, and the Tampa Police Department. Code Enforcement's Law Enforcement Liaison Team focuses on graffiti abatement and code violations in hotspot areas due to neglect and waning property conditions. And Dexter has talked a little about that. The Anti-Graffiti Unit will now give us all, as partners, working together again, and that's a theme that is going to be recurrent. You just will hear it over and over again. A valuable tool in combating dangerous criminal gang activity in our neighborhoods. If you look around, law enforcement in this area has made anti-gang initiatives a priority. And while you might not see the gang activities you saw in places like New York in the 70s and LA in the 80s, the thought by law enforcement is if you hit it before it begins, before it takes root, we'll be a lot better off. And I think everybody would agree with that strategy. And so, on behalf of the United States Attorney's Office, I'd like to congratulate Dexter and his law enforcement liaison team, and to Hillsborough County for this strong additional tool in our efforts to try to eradicate gang and violence in our communities.
I've got to say, this is the first time I've come to a celebration and a ribbon cutting for a truck. But I've got to tell you, it's not about the fact that we're cutting a ribbon for a truck and we're going to put this on the road, start doing the good work it's going to do, but it's what the truck stands for. You know, I recently came out of another agency, as y'all may know. I was with the Department of Children and Families. And at DCF, one thing I learned there with an exclamation point is that we had to do our work with the community. And I think that's what this truck stands for. And you know, I can't help but see Mike Merrill here, the county administrator, and Commissioner Merman and Commissioner Beckner, who when I was at DCF, I can tell you, they were critical to us. I mean, I sat down with them more times than I can imagine to try to deal with the issues of foster care and abuse and neglect and mental health problems. And now I'm here in my law enforcement capacity again. Thank God, I love being back. In our law enforcement capacity again, and it's the same type of thing. I mean, we need to have the community wrap their arms around this. I mean, who would have thought that code enforcement could play such a vital role? You know, that a truck could play such a vital role and send such an important message. But I think the message is very important, and especially with gangs, it's very important. About 2 years ago, my predecessor, Bill Shepard, who was the previous statewide prosecutor, they had convened a grand jury. And the grand jury was to focus on the gang initiative and to basically address gang violence and to address gang crime. And I think the important thing that that gang initiative did was basically really bring light to this and to start raising it across the state, to raise this as a big initiative. But it's something that we find in Hillsborough County we always seem to be ahead of.
Well, I'd like to, on behalf of the Board of County Commissioners, like to welcome everybody here. This is really a truly special day. Not only just the introduction of a great tool to fight against gang crime in our community, but as the theme message over and over again really does have to do with the power of collaboration. And this is truly an effort of the result of what happens when multiple agencies come together and are committed to making a difference. Things like this happen. And I can tell you, as a former police officer, public safety is job one for me in this community. And though I'm no longer a law enforcement officer, I take great pride in supporting our men and women of law enforcement and other agencies that are out there on the streets that are fighting crime like this. And as we mentioned before, what this is really a symbol of is that we are able now to cut the communications that gangs pose in our community. And this I look at as one symbol that we are truly able to take back our community. And that takes a collaborative effort. And it's not just us, it's not just law enforcement, it's everybody working together. And I think that this truck will send a strong symbol to our community that, you know what, to the gangs, you are no longer welcome here. And we are going to cut your communication chain, and we are going to continue to work together until you are eradicated from this community.
Thank you, Commissioner Beckner, and I appreciate all the work you do for juveniles too. He's really doing a lot of work in the area of juvenile justice, much like what I did in the legislature. I spent 8 years as a state representative and worked a lot in the juvenile justice area and criminal proceedings and different things. But graffiti was always at the top of concern, especially when you come back to the community and you talk to the citizens in your neighborhood associations. In fact, I just was in Town and Country last night, and now it is a big concern. What are they going to do about it? How can they get the graffiti off? And I didn't want to tell them about this because I want this to be a great announcement that we're going to send out to these neighborhoods, that we're going to send this truck out there, and like Kevin said, we're going to put a real strong message out there. We're going to clean up our neighborhoods. We're going to keep them safe, because the damage that graffiti causes in our community are astounding. It could be as much as $8 million just because you have to clean up, you've got to take away the graffiti, the concern it caused to businesses and neighborhoods. They don't feel safe in their homes or their businesses anymore. So I think it's this is going to be a great tool, and I can't wait to take a ride. I hope you're going to offer us rides, Dexter, because we all need a ride. But you know, Dexter, what he's done with this code, through code enforcement with this anti-graffiti unit, is really, again, this crossover collaboration that will always net good results for those in government, and it's going to send a great message to our taxpayers that we're all working together. So this is a very positive solution to the gang problem, and I'm thankful to be a part of it, and we're going to reduce this crime and create more awareness through this truck.
In Hillsborough County, we have 120 identified gangs. We have over 5,000 gang members. And if you look behind me here, like most everybody here said today, that's a huge undertaking just to keep that under control. And we have to partner with these people behind us here and everybody else, including the community. The truck here, this was a great thing. We were proud to help Dexter them get it. We do have a great working relationship with all the components. The City of Tampa Police Department, U.S. Attorney's Office, statewide prosecutor, State Attorney's Office, Code Enforcement. All these people work together as one team. And together, we're keeping it pretty much under control. And we're very aggressive. We're not sitting back and waiting on the gangs to commit a crime to go after them. We're being very proactive. You know, we're going after them. So we're getting these people identified and putting them in prison, and hopefully they will be gone for several years. With that, thank you very much.
As I mentioned earlier, the Tampa Bay Area KG Task Force was awarded the Outstanding Partnership Task Force Award at the National PSN Conference in New Orleans in July 2010. Washington, as a result of that, had sent down an evaluation team to Tampa to study why this particular area had such a high level of success. And their findings were of no surprise to everybody sitting behind me. It was the high level of a strong collaboration, our sharing of intelligence, our communication, our close partnership efforts. And so Washington awarded the top PSN sites with special recognition throughout the nation. The only problem is, I guess it's because of the federal deficit, they only gave one plaque. And we have a lot of different members of our organization and of our KG. So what we've decided to do is we wanted to get plaques for all of our partners. And what I'd like to do at this time is bring up first Colonel Frost on behalf of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, and give one of the plaques to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and to Colonel Frost. I can say I've been working with Colonel Frost since 1993 when I first came to this area on cases, and I'll be serious here. He's a very, I would usually just make fun and say things, but not on this occasion. He's been a delight to work with, and the relationships could not be stronger. Thank you, Albert.
Thank you.
The next one that we're presenting is to the Tampa Police Department, and is Bill Todd going to do? Oh, Major. As with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, we work very closely with the Tampa Police Department on any given day, and with the KG, the Tampa Police Department has been instrumental from the beginning, and we just want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
Next would be the State Attorney's Office, and I believe Doug Beanick will be accepting the award on behalf of them. Doug will be accepting on behalf of Mark Ober. And again, I don't know if people realize just how closely the federal and state government work together here, how the U.S. Attorney's Office and the State Attorney's Office works. I can tell you I've worked in other cities, other parts of the country. This is a rarity, and it says a lot about the people that are here. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
The next one would be on behalf of the Hillsborough County Criminal Justice, and it's Rob Parkinson. Again, Rob, on behalf of the United States Attorney's Office, we'd like to thank you for your participation in the KG and all that your organization brings to it. Thank you. And finally, to the man who brought us all here today, Dexter Barge, we'd like to recognize the Hillsborough County Code Enforcement and all they've done for us with the KG. Thank you very much.
The reason that we're here today is to cut the ribbon on the truck. And it's been an exciting event, and I thank all of you for being here. And this will, once we cut the ribbon, it will conclude the formal part of our event. I encourage all of you to stay around and chat with each other and take a look at the truck. We have some of our code enforcement officers who have been trained who would be around the truck who can answer any specific questions. Again, thank you all for making this a very special day and participating in this event.